Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to our channel, Totally Take.
I'm Samson. And I'm JJ. And baby Joseph is on the chair asleep.
Yeah, baby Joseph is on the chair asleep. And I'm Joshua, you
and
guys.
And I'm Crystal, and welcome if you are new.
Yes,
welcome
back to our channel,
welcome
y'all.
back to the people who are already on our channel. Welcome back. Oh my goodness, we hope that you guys are doing good. So today we are talking about, and we just gonna jump right into it, but we're talking about things and feelings that we have experienced as we had our special needs children. All right, you guys, so you see that the boys are in a totally different position, okay? We just filmed this video and we have to do it over, so hey, this is this is the reality. They're tired. But so today we're talking about the feelings that we've experienced having our special needs children. We had Samson almost 6 years ago, you guys, and we had and we had Joseph last year. So we're gonna kind of talk about like the things that we felt back then, almost 6 years ago, and then we're gonna also talk about the things that we are experiencing and how we feel now.
And how we feel now.
So one of the very first feelings or emotions that we experienced back then was, I would say, embarrassment. Embarrassment was like probably one of the biggest ones, of course sad and all the other emotions, but embarrassment was really big because we had this expectation of going into like having children. We had this expectation of, oh, this is what our life is going to look like. This is what our reality is going to be like. It's going to be so this, it's going to be so that. But then when we got the news and when we went through with the pregnancy and we continued on and we had our first son, that reality was shattered, like completely shattered. It was totally different than what we expected. And so like going down, Samson was in a NICU for 2 months. So when he was in a NICU and going down there every single day and having people visit, those feelings of embarrassment were there. It was like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe that this is my son, this is my life, this is our reality. We're in the NICU and people are coming. They're not coming to our house just after we had the baby to come visit us and just be, you know, like a typical pregnancy and delivery would be, or postpartum would be as well. But we're in the NICU and we have to like, our child, he looks so different than other children. Our child is hooked up to like monitors and he's on like feeding tubes and he's getting all this medicine, so he's like drugged up kind of. And it was just a different experience than what we had it pictured and what we imagined. And so like feelings of embarrassment was like very, like it was all the way there, like and so when people came to visit us, I was kind of like, ooh, like I don't really want people to come visit us because I don't want people to see my son. I don't want people to see my child like this. Like, this doesn't feel good. This is like, wow, like completely different from what I thought that it was going to be.
Yeah, and I've also felt, you know, those feelings of embarrassment as well. But like for me, like the very first feeling that I felt, I was so hurt. I was hurt. When I saw Samson come out the womb, like I was hurt and I was angry. I was upset. I was really, man, I was frustrated. Like those were the feelings that I had, and I was so sad and hurt, man, because the first thoughts that I had when I saw Samson, it was, God, why didn't you heal my son? And so like in the very beginning, like I was angry for a little bit, man. I was angry with God. I didn't know like how to believe in God again. I'm just being real. My faith in God, like in Jesus Christ, man, it was just like I just don't know, because he didn't, bro, like, God, are you real, man? You didn't heal my son. So I like, for me, I was dealing with a lot of anger, and it was so hard. It was so hard in that NICU phase. Like it was so hard. Like, and like you said, like, I mean, I was embarrassed because like even the feelings of, man, like I was praying for God, I was praying for you to heal him. And you know, people believing that, oh God, you gonna heal him, you gonna heal him, you gonna heal him, but you didn't. And so it was even embarrassed because it's just like, like this is kind of what I thought of. It's like, like the God that you believe in, he didn't heal your son. That you ain't serving no real God. You know, like it's true. Like I just thought about like all the people that I told, like God was gonna heal my son. Like, yeah, we got a son with a special needs condition in the womb, but I'm believing that God is gonna heal. God ain't heal your son. So I was embarrassed. I felt like I didn't have the faith. Like I was just thinking like, God, like I was just really embarrassed about it, because it's just like you was praying and all of this stuff for nothing. And that's how, like, and on that side of embarrassment, that's how I felt embarrassed, because it's just like we prayed, but God didn't heal our son. And just seeing our son going through all of this, it was just hard. And it's just like, dang, it was hard, you know?
Yeah, it was hard. And even as he went, and even going further, like as he got older, it like we tried to, it was different moments and times where like things, where those feelings would come back up, because sometimes like we kind of brush it off to the side.
Yeah, because like, we had to live though. Like that's like, even the way that we felt, like we couldn't even sit in our feelings because we had to continue.
We had to continue going, especially for him.
Yeah,
we had to keep on going.
Like, it didn't matter about how I felt. Didn't matter how Crystal felt. Like, bro, we had to take care of our son. She had to get the breast milk flowing and all. Like, it was like crunch time. So like, these are feelings that we felt like in the very beginning, but like we still had to live.
Yeah.
Like I had to work and had to take care of my family. So it was just we were just
going and going and going.
But then the times when we settled down, like
the emotions came back.
The emotions
came back so heavy too. Like it was different times. So one time there was a birthday party that we took him to. We took our son to, and he was 1 year. He was 1 year old at that point. And when we think, or even like before having kids, I would think of my 1 year old child would be doing this or that. So this birthday party was at Chuck E. Cheese, and we got there, and it was just like, man. Oh my gosh.
It was hard.
It was hard. My son, he can't.
And I know I made it harder for you too.
Yeah.
I made it harder for her because I didn't have the strength to even go inside. I told Crystal, I'm like, I can't do it, man. It
was hard.
It was super hard. And I know that affected you.
Yeah, it did. Because we were in, and I'm just looking at all the kids play, and my baby just, I just have to watch him not play and like not participate. He's sitting in a stroller. He's so cute though. But
he's so cute.
He's so dang cute and everything. Cute. And what I love, and I always want to just say this, I just want to implement this, but what I love is that our family was like, they came to him and they made him feel included. And that's I always will say that. But they made him feel included, and that made me feel good. But besides that, I still had those feelings of, man, like, I would have expected for my son to be playing with his cousins, or playing, like climbing and going on whatever rides they have at Chuck E. Cheese. You guys know Chuck E. Cheese, but like for him to be able to participate and to just do what all the other kids are doing. And so with that, it was like he wasn't doing those things. And then on top of that, Joshua had left, and I knew why he left. We didn't talk about it 0%, but I just knew, and I had a feeling. But in the moment, I felt like, man, dang, he left, and I gotta deal with all these feelings, and like all of this, like him not being able to participate, and just I gotta deal with it all by myself. So it really did make it harder in that moment.
I'm sorry, Crystal. I'm sorry. No, I'm really sorry for that. I'm serious. That's, just hearing that, it's like, dang, Josh, you freaking left your wife. Well,
it's okay.
No, it's okay. And here's why. Like, it's okay because we deal with things differently. But
yeah, true.
You guys, so like, see, with the embarrassment and stuff, I just didn't even want to go from the beginning, but Crystal, she really wanted to go. And so it's like I was trying to go for my wife, knowing that I don't want to go, but I'm like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna see if I can do it. And when I went there, I just couldn't do it. But I could see, man, it hurt me because I know you was, man, it hurt. But like I was going through, and
yeah, we both were though.
Here's what was happening. Like even in that moment, I wasn't just thinking about, oh man, Samson, he can't do this, he can't do that. But I was still struggling, you guys. I was still struggling, trying to keep up with, trying to get my family out the hole, because the bills, man, they piled up on us so heavy. And with working and me just killing myself, I was working, y'all, 100 hours at this moment. A year one, I was working 100 hours every single week, 100 to 110 hours, like, and I was just piling on. And so like even with that, like with just in that moment when we pulled up to Chuck E. Cheese, I couldn't do it. And I left, and I called a dude, one of my friends. I don't even really know what to call him. He like a mentor friend, a brother. Man, I love this dude so much, man. I love you, Curtis. I do love you, man. But man, I had called him because like I was just, and I'm crying because like I could still feel the same pain, like not today, but like in that moment, like I was hurt, y'all, because I just didn't, like, I was upset with God, and I'm just trying to figure out, like, God, like, why did you do this to me and my wife? Yeah. Like, I was hurting bad deep down inside because, man, God, you want me to be the father of Samson, and I don't even know how to take care of my own child. I don't even know how to really provide for my family, because this way, me working 100 hours a week, bro, like, this ain't the way, God. And like, you gave us this big old challenge, like this big old thing that we have to do to take care of Samson. In that moment, like, I called him and I was just crying because I was just like, my son can't do anything in there, man. Like, my son can't do what the other people doing that hurt so bad. Not being able to see my son do these things. Not like we can't do stuff that other people do. Like, all the other families in there, they having a great time seeing their kids climb, and we can't see our kids climb. We can't see our kid walk. We can't. And that was just so hard in that moment. Yeah. And like, it was just hard because like these are the feelings that we felt for some years. It's just like, man, and even just going inside, being around people, everybody know that you different. Everybody know that you got a child with special needs. Yeah, it's like literally all eyes on you. Ooh, you know, people try, like, it's in. I don't now. I'm just used to it now. Like, I'm just used to it now. But like in the very beginning, it would hurt. Yeah, people would be like. And then they'll try to not look like they just saw it. Then some people just flat out, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? And that hurt. Like, just seeing all of that stuff. And in that moment, like when I went to that Chuck E. Cheese, like I just had to have a real moment with myself and with God. And I'm glad that I was able to call, you know, my brother, man, and just talk with him about it, because he really encouraged me in that moment. And the one thing that he said was, you know, we all got to pick up our cross and follow God. Yeah. And God gives everybody a different cross. That's true. He gives everybody a different thing. When you think about Peter, how he had the thorn in his flesh, he asked God to heal him multiple times, but God didn't heal him. But God told him that his grace was sufficient for him. And that's what my brother, I'm never going to forget with the conversation, because that plays a big part in my life. And I begin to realize, no lie, that God's grace is sufficient, Josh. Like you don't know how to take care of your son. You know what? You are taking care of your son by the grace of God. Like, God's grace, his favor, man, is upon you. He's upon your family. And like throughout this journey, you know, those was the feelings. Like, we had a lot of bad feelings in the beginning. Yeah, a lot. But coming up to like year almost number 6, like, we're able to really understand, we have a better view on life, and we feel better because, and I'm just going to talk about this verse and then you go ahead. But like, God's grace is sufficient. Like, man, me and Crystal, we found ourselves in a very difficult situation. We found ourselves having a whole lot of negative feelings. We found ourselves, like, literally, we found ourselves being in a place to where, like, we didn't know how we were going to be able to take care of ourselves. We didn't know how things were going to look in the future. We couldn't plan out the future. We didn't know how his life was going to be, how Samson was going to turn out. And we didn't even know how, like, if we would be able to be good parents. Like, we didn't know none of these things. But like, today, I feel good, you guys. Today, I'm happy, man. Today, I love my son, and I care for my big boy. And like, when we had Joseph, like, I was able to even feel like I didn't have those negative emotions, because I learned some things. And the things that I learned is, like, even with the ways that I feel, God is still good. I have joy today.
Yeah, today is a totally different ball game than it was back then. And of course, like, sometimes we still go through those down, like, feelings and emotions. Sometimes it's very rare.
Sometimes it get hard.
Yeah, sometimes it does get extremely hard sometimes. But overall, I could say now we're like in the point where we're at the point where we're like more accepting of it. We're more accepting of our story. We're more accepting of our children, of our like of their condition. We're more accepting and more open of it, and to where we can just like love on them and just embrace them for who they are, for who God has called them to be and created them to be. We're more okay like now than we were back then. Like now we're more smiles and more like just like you said, like we see the joy that he brings, that Samson brings, that JJ brings, that Joseph brings to everybody, to us, to you guys, to our family, our friends and everything. So it's like, it's just like different now. Like now it's more of a, like I said, embrace, and like it just taught us to embrace our reality, because
and embracing differences.
Exactly, embracing differences, because we all have differences. Like we mentioned in another video before, but we all have differences. They just wear theirs on the outside, and so it's like, hey, it's okay. And we're not avoiding anymore, like, because at first we didn't say this, but at first we were avoiding the fact that our son, well, starting with Samson, we kind of avoided that he has special needs. We kind of wanted him to, like, kind of like we tried to look like we fit in, or just not talk about. We tried not to talk about like his condition and not bring awareness to it how we should, or how we're doing now. Like now we're talking about it. Now we're more open to share, because we know like, hey, this is what God wants. Like this is how he created it. This is how he's doing something. He's doing a new thing, and we just gotta be okay with what he's doing and stop trying to avoid it, stop trying to suppress it, but be okay with standing out, being okay with looking different and being different than everybody else, because that's what it is. Like our family is different, and we just have to be okay with it. We just have to.
Content could be found on the screen.
JJ, what you doing over there, boy? But no, like
we just have to embrace it.
Yeah, we have to embrace it, and you guys, and that's why I know, like today, the people that you see here today, the Josh and the Crystal that you see, are people who have really grown, man. Like we have grown, you guys. And with you saying, talking about embracing it, like we have, like, as far as like how we feel about it, we feel good about it, we have joy about it, because we accept, like, it's like, we not trying to fight this no more. We not trying to, like, I'm not even gonna say, like, some days I try to figure out still, like,
sometimes
why, like sometimes, but like I'm not against it. Like, man, I'm not trying to, like, God, I'm praying, because this is what I used to do as well. Like, God, heal Samson today. Heal him, God. Heal him, God. Transform his legs, Lord. Transform his body. Change him, Lord. Change him. It's like, no. Like today, like I realized, it's like, man, like, God, I just thank you for my son.
Yeah.
And I feel good about it, because I know, like, literally, if God didn't want Samson to be this way, or for Joseph to be this way, it would not happen.
It wouldn't have happened.
God would not have allowed for this to happen if he didn't want it. So, and even just taking this into our life, like, man, this is kind of a therapy session for me, because I'm having some epiphanies right now. But it's like, man, like I can feel good about my son. I can feel good about having my children, because I know that this is what God wanted.
Yes.
And like we're making the best of it. Like literally, like I can say I feel good and I have joy, because, and I know that this is part of the will of God for our life.
Yes, exactly.
It is. Like, it ain't no question about it. This is
like,
God's
if it was,
will.
like you said, if it wasn't meant to be, it just wouldn't be.
Yeah,
it's
it
just
wouldn't
that
be.
simple.
If God didn't want it to happen, it would have not happened. And I'm gonna just add this here in the back end. It's just like, man, like God does whatever he wants to do, but he does whatever he wants to do that pleases him.
Yeah.
And I just learned this. Literally. I never seen this verse in my life, but I saw it on Monday last week. In the verse in Psalms 135, in 5-6, it says, I know that the Lord is great, that our Lord is greater than all gods. The Lord does whatever pleases him in heavens and on earth, in the seas and all their depths. And one thing that I learned this is God does what pleases him. And he gave us these children because it pleases him. Like when I think about all the things that happen in life that we may think, you know, everything in your life and everybody's life that we think is negative, it's like God allows it to happen because it pleases him. Like it's something coming from this that's going to please God. And I know it's stuff coming from us having our children the way that they are. It pleases God.
Yeah.
And it pleases him. It brings him glory. And so like, man,
True.
you know, I'm able to just sit here as a father, man, and I can just say, you know, I love being a father of my kids with special needs, and I'm glad that God chose me. Because at first, like, you know, I was confused, and I was like, no, God, why me? But then I'm grateful that God chose me to have these kids, because I know that not everybody can do this. And that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Not everybody can have special needs kids. Not everybody can go through trials and tribulations and struggles and different things and make it out. So really, you know, you guys, we wanted to make this video, you know, just talk about the raw emotions that we felt, and even like how we feel now, because, man, we all know, man, feelings change. Feelings, you know, that's not an indicator to go by, like how you feel. That's not how, like, you know, I feel this way. So, but you know, but your feelings, they do matter, and your feelings are true.
They're valid.
You know, they're valid, and so, like, that's how we felt. But you know, I'm grateful, and I can say I'm grateful that we felt bad in the beginning, but now, like, as we're moving forward in life, like, we're getting joy again. Like, in places where we didn't have joy, we have joy. Places where we didn't have love, we have love. In places that we didn't have peace, we have peace in.
now.
And you know, I can just say, I just give all glory to God, because, you know, I'm not gonna say that it's that is somebody else or it's because of me, but I just thank God that in those broken places, we're not broken anymore.
Yes.
And I just want to encourage any one of y'all, like, you know, who's watching this video, if you made it this far, like, no matter what you have going on in your life that you don't understand, what other people may think is negative, or what even you may think is negative, like, man, if God allowed for it to happen, I just say, man, you know, just trust God. Just trust God, because all of the stuff that's going on in your life that's not right, God, he will fix it. He gonna show you, you know, why he allowed for this to happen, and he's gonna get glory out of it. Exactly. So just be encouraged, you guys. Yeah, be encouraged. We hope that you guys, you know, like this video, you know, of us just talking about, you know,
sharing
something
our
real.
I was gonna say, sharing our raw and real emotions. We desire to always keep it real, be authentic, and that's one of the things that's something that we had to endure. That's something that we had to go through, all of these feelings and stuff. So we do hope that you enjoyed this video and got something from it, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace out.
I'd like to do the intro and every video.
We did the intro, baby. I'm not deleting the intro.